Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, or welcome for the first time to the Purple Kurt podcast. My name is Kurt Hoffman. With me today is the man singing and playing on this track, Surf the Tsunami, from their new album, All Hell's Breaking Loose. Give it up for return from John Gallagher!
Hello, hello, hello.
From Raven! Let's listen, let's play out.
But it's so real when it's burning inside you. It's on the state. It's no illusion, you know what to do. Stop the tsunami. Ride the whirlwind, hang on for your life. Stop the tsunami. Ride the whirlwind, hang on for your life, and you become a sky.
All right, that is Surf the Tsunami from Raven's brand new forthcoming album out on June 30th, if memory serves correctly, sir.
Yep.
And on a new record label, Silver Lining Records.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
I want to talk a little bit about the transition to. I mean, they're doing a great job. First of all, let me just say, first of all, thank you for doing this today. And
Yep.
before I forget to ask, rail you with questions like I do with everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's gorgeous this time of year in England, if it works out right, and it is working out right. So doing that, keeping busy, finishing up videos, interviews, all this good stuff. Silver Lining keeping us nice and busy. And, you know, gigs. We've been doing stuff like pretty much every 3 weeks. We've been out doing runs and stuff, so it's good.
We were just talking before hitting the record button here that you're geared up to do the Milwaukee Festival.
Milwaukee Metal Fest on the 27th of May, which is really cool. Where I think we're not headlining on that, but we're up pretty far up the bill. I think there's only one more band on after us at the hall we're playing at. It's a strange place there. We played it's the rave, the Eagles Club thing in Milwaukee. We played there years and years ago. Right now, I think they've got like 6 or 7 venues, which of course makes it perfect for a festival type thing like this.
Sure, because you can have multiple bands on and people can wander and watch all.
Yeah, you wander between one and the other, and I guess they're trying to either keep the bands, you know, stylistically different, or try not to, you know, have stuff overrun each other, which is cool. It's just fun.
Think of all the think of all the drum kit switches people don't have to do alone. Oh, Jesus Christ! That alone, you know.
Yeah, that's the 7th ring of hell. You can crew one of these festivals.
I mean, you know, this Led Zeppelin covers band I'm in, Glenn Zeppelin. I mean, our drummer is going to have to share with the guy, and you know, when you're doing Zeppelin, you're doing bottom stuff. He's very specific with the bass pedal that he uses and the snare, the Ludwig snare that he bought. You know, $800 for that, and you know, because you want to make sure that sound is there. So you know, with a guy like Mike Heller, you know, you're the new guy. Well, 5 years on now, right?
6, literally.
Oh, Jesus,
6,
like
right.
right.
2 days ago. Yeah, we were making fun of that. Mark kept saying 5, and we're going 6. It's going, yeah, it's the longest 5 years of all time.
Oh my God, you're not kidding, right? I had the fortune of seeing you guys recently. I say recently, it was last year, at the Kung Fu Necktie downtown Philadelphia. I believe the Phillies were in the playoffs, you know, for the World Series.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole area was just, you know, it's such a sports-centric city, as you know.
Oh, of course.
Right.
If they win, they go crazy. If they lose, they go crazy.
They go crazier.
Just crazy, yeah.
I mean, you know, we had the Eagles in the Super Bowl, we had them in the World Series, and actually the football team, you know, the football, you know, also in the playoffs here in America. So, you know, I mean, do you follow football? Are you a football guy? British football?
Are you talking football?
Yeah. The
Well,
legit.
I have to here because Newcastle's doing great guns. They're top 3, which has never happened in forever. And I think they just won 4-1 on the weekend. It's phenomenal.
No, that's
Great things are ahead. definitely.
Cool, cool. Well, anyway, you did this gig at Kung Fu Necktie, and I say every single time you give 150% no matter where you play, no matter how many people you're playing for. And at that time, you guys were celebrating the 40th anniversary of Wiped Out,
Wiped Out.
right?
Yeah, we're playing the whole album all the way through. Yeah.
Covered which and a couple tracks that you had never played up until
Nope.
putting this whole tour together.
Yeah, they're To the Limit, To the Top, and Battle Zone. Never done them live ever, so that was fun playing them. Definitely.
And you had a re-release of that album to commemorate it with like the outtakes demos when you guys were a four-piece, right? You had some of the
That
demos.
was Rock Until You Drop.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
did. Yeah,
my bad.
I'd love to do that with Wiped Out. It's a lot harder because there wasn't the whole demo thing and outtakes, because we recorded everything and mixed it in like 6 or 7 days
Oh,
on Wiped Out, which was like an album and an EP. So everything we did basically came out. So that makes it a little more problematic. And it's round about 82 that decent sounding bootlegs started coming out. So,
sure.
but I had to use them for Rock Until You Drop because there wasn't anything good sounding from 1980 or 1981. So we'll see. All for One's a different story. I think we can put something nice together with that. And that's what we've been doing so far this year. We did a UK tour doing All for One, and we just played 5 shows in Europe doing All for One. Yeah, that's the one.
That's it. Well, my introduction to you, and I've said this before when I had you on last time, and when I had you on last time, we were all still pretty much in lockdown, and you know, thank God that we're all able to go where we need to go and do what we need to do.
It's like the old John Cleese thing. Don't mention the war.
Right. Oh, please, God, don't mention it at all. I think you called it the situations that shall not be named or something like that. I went back and watched it. So, but you've had a lot of recent accolades and different interesting stuff going on. Number one in my mind was that you guys got inducted into the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame in January. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Very cool. That was very cool. Came out of left field. Was not expecting that, so we went over for it. Luckily, we were already going to be coming over to do a cruise. We did the Chris Jericho wrestling cruise, which was awesome. It was so much fun.
Cool.
And there was only a few bands on that. Quiet Riot were on it, and so we had a good time. But you know, previous to that, we went over and did this Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. Twisted Sister were there.
Yeah.
Lou Gramm.
I saw Foreigner.
Just to say hi to Lou Gramm was such a thrill. What a great singer. Unbelievable.
One of my favorite, John, I'll tell you, the first album I bought with my own money was Foreigner 4.
Yep.
I mean, that album cannot be denied. It was lean, mean, and despite the fact that a lot of people, hard rock, their use of synthesizers, because Tom Dolby plays on that, Larry Fast, and
yeah, I mean, the cutting edge guys, definitely.
Oh my God! Well, they played for Leopard's, albums, Pyromania, right? So the Sheffield boys there. I'm sure Wednesday Footballer Club fans as well.
There you go.
But anyhow, so in addition to that, backing up a couple months prior to that, a sad occasion, but one that definitely I'd love to hear more about from you, is that you got to open for Metallica in an honor concert at the Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida. I used to live in Hollywood actually years ago, and to commemorate the lives and times of John Zazula and his wife Marcia, right? Megaforce Records.
That all came out of a thing we did as a project we're working on. It'll take forever, but we were recording the album at Mike's in Los Angeles, and just got in touch with Metallica and said, hey, would James or Lars or one of the guys be interested in sitting down and having a little round table discussion, and we'll film it talking about the Kill 'Em All for One. It's the 40th anniversary.
Right.
And James was, yes, I'd love to do that. So we went up to Metallica HQ and spent a wonderful day there. And James came down a little later, and we sat down for like an hour or so and talked about all this and filmed it, which was really awesome. He was
so
very
cool.
open, very real, and it's great to see those guys after what they've been through, after
Yeah.
what they are, and all the rest, basically being the same guys, which is, it's good. It's really good. And
Yeah.
that's not easy.
No, it's
That's
not.
that's not easy. Obviously, everyone's had their period when they get that kind of fame and fortune where it'll go to their head or drive them nuts. They're very grounded. It's great to see.
and it took them
And
long time to get there.
oh
Their
yeah,
new album, 72 Seasons. Have you heard it? Any of it?
I've heard some of it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it
It's good.
sounds like them. I know people. Well, it doesn't sound like they're used to it. It's not hard enough.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not
it's
fast
not
enough.
going now, is it? I mean, that was an awful long time ago. All they can do is do what pleases them, and
Right.
hopefully everyone comes along for the ride. We can all nitpick and criticize everything. Personally, I think it's great having Metallica doing what they're doing. It's a rising tide, lifts all
Absolutely.
boats.
Absolutely.
If it's metal and doing well, whether it's Metallica or Iron Maiden or freaking
Mhm.
Ghost or whatever, it's all good.
Oh,
It's all good.
and the Ghost cover. I tell you, and I would never slag Metallica. I know people talk about, oh, they sold out in the '90s to keep up with grunge and all this other stuff, and I'm like, they did what they wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
And the big thing I take away from Metallica is that they never forgot their roots. They paid on. They brought out Saxon to play. Biff and Saxon. Rob Halford has joined them on stage. You've joined them on stage. You got to open for them. These huge stadiums in Brazil. They've never
Yeah.
forgotten their roots, and they've always paid homage to you guys because they know that they would not be there had not been for you guys.
No, they're very, very open
Yeah.
about saying that stuff. So we did this video thing with
Yeah.
James, and at the end, I just said, if you've got any opening slots available, this little band from Newcastle, we're here, we're ready to go. And he said, well, where are you living right now? I says, well, basically Florida. He goes, we've got a gig coming up in Florida and no one knows about yet. It hasn't been announced. He says, give me a couple of weeks and we'll let you know. All right, let's see what happens. 2 weeks later, boom, you want to do the show? And it's like, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
people need to go out there and check out. Some people have put the footage up there on YouTube as is de rigueur these days. You can catch stuff like this on YouTube, but
Yeah.
they gave you great lights, background, backdrops, with your name up there and all. And you guys,
Oh,
as usual,
they
just
treated
kicked
us
ass and
like
took
gold.
names.
And it was so cool because we got to hang out with them for at least an hour and a half, between way before and then after our show, before they went and did their thing. It was really, really cool. And like you say, for a great tribute. And while they were playing, they had all this really cool memorabilia and stuff up on the screens.
Wow.
And that their whole stage set was it dragged out all the old cases, the road cases and the amps. And their tour
Oh,
manager
wow.
was hilarious. He's like, says it's taken me 20 years to persuade them not to drag all this crap out, and here we have it all out again.
Oh my
So it
God.
was fun. It was really cool.
Oh, nice. I want to make mention because it literally just happened days ago is the death of Algie Ward from Tank and a group that you played with over the years. Can you talk to us a little bit about Algie and?
Yeah, the first time we played with Tank, I think we were due to do a few shows, but we ended up only doing one. It was in Chicago in
Okay.
like 85 or 86. And that was actually with a wrestling ring in the middle of the stage. So they played, there was wrestling, and then we played. And I remember we loaned Mick a guitar amp because his amp died. So it was pretty funny. And they were very low key, funnily enough. But we took Tank out in '97, and Algie was hilarious. And his brother. I think he never really recovered from losing his brother. They were like joined at the hip,
Mm,
and that that guy was like a walking encyclopedia of music. It was hilarious. But Algie had things like he would have his drinking trousers, which seems a bit of a misnomer because those guys just drank constantly.
Well, for people who don't know him, and I had to do my homework on him because I really didn't follow Tank all that much, but I know he's very much Lemmy disciple because
Yeah,
he
very much in that vein, especially the first album.
yeah.
The second and third albums, I think, are elevated. They came into their own a lot more.
I mean,
And
I think of a track like "The War Drags Ever On."
yeah, and
That
what's it, Laughing in the Face of Death was always the one I loved.
yeah,
Was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
some good stuff. Uh, so yeah, they opened. That was a great bill. We had Hammerfall, their first tour. They opened, and then Tank, and then us, and that was really cool.
Hammerfall are
And
actually out the road
I'm
with
still
Halloween.
friends with Cliff and Mick, and of course there was the well-publicized split with Algie, who
Yeah.
really had health problems. And he's had terrible hearing and tinnitus problems, so he
Oh,
couldn't play live. So
oh man.
apparently, gave them blessing to go ahead, and then reneged on it, and uh, whatever. That part's kind of sad. But
Hmm.
remembering the good stuff, he was a character. He really was.
Oh man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I mean, I mean, you have stories. I mean, I think of all the bands your Twisted Sister stories when they first played in the UK, Motorhead stories, the stories about Ozzy and Blizzard of Oz when Randy was still in the band. I mean, you have all these memories that you need to think about if you haven't already
I
writing a
need to
book
write them
about.
down. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
started doing a bit of that. They were online like last year and the year before
Yeah,
with this Japanese promoter who was asking.
right.
And it was basically like 10, 15 chapters of a book when you think about it. So beforehand, I was like, And then after doing that, it's like, yeah, I could do it. Uh, you've got to have that story arc from nothing to doing something to dying to coming back to life. So I guess you've kind of got all of that.
Oh,
So and then you've got the 50th anniversary lurking next year. So
Jesus, I
maybe
know.
it's the time for all this stuff.
Absolutely. And you know, please, if you do write the book, please do the audio for your book. Please do the audio for your book. Nothing beats hearing it from the horse's mouth because, Halford did his two books that he has out. Confess and I believe it's the other one. And they're just brilliant
Yeah.
because he doesn't shy away from using the brummy yam yam
Oh, of
slang.
course not. It's all in there.
And
Well,
he
that's
but
it. You'd need a translated version for me, probably.
want a cup of Thai.
Do it fast. Well, like, yeah, well, I can't do it. We're playing a gig, doing a tune like, and this guy you come up to me, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that'll go down well.
Oh my god. So good. I hope that comes out. Well, let's talk about the here and now. So before the graphics of course behind me are from your new album All Hell's Breaking Loose. There you are to my right. And great graphics. It's so from the previous album Metal City, let's put that up here for a hot second. The similar artwork concept that you had with the comic book like artwork, brilliant. I'm glad you guys stuck with that because I'm telling you, man, if you guys did a comic book series, because I know so many bands are doing that now, and not just in
Yeah.
metal and rock. Public Enemy, the rap group's got a comic book series out. Has that ever been a thought, possibly, of?
I know it's very involved, and
Yeah,
it also is very expensive to do it right,
right.
because just doing this is involved and expensive.
Oh,
Uh,
no doubt.
so yeah, in a perfect world, it would be fun. It would be a freaking nightmare to do. I mean, just doing
I hear you.
cover and just the work that goes into doing these couple of videos we've been doing. It's you know,
Oh,
blood from stone. But at the end of the day, you look back and go, okay, Cool. But yeah, we wanted to kind of follow along with what we did with Metal City. Not as, I mean, that was definitely looked like a comic book with all the, the little odds and sods on the cover, like the
Oh
price,
yeah,
the
like the credits
Raven
here with the
comics
thought
and all this
bubbles and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah. We've
Now,
got
is it
we've
the
got
same?
cool stuff on the inside of this as well. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of extra art stuff, but it's basically from the title, all hell's breaking loose. We're in the middle of it, and you've got all kinds of, you see the dinosaur with a chainsaw, and
I
down at
picked
the
up on that,
bottom,
and you have a
down at the
song called
bottom right,
Chainsaw.
there's spiders with laser beams and stuff like that.
I feel like I'm getting hit by one right now.
There you go.
But John, it still keeps in line with, you've got a song called Chainsaw, so that could be considered a nice little Easter egg. People love that kind of shit.
Yeah,
And the fact that you've got all these different monsters in here, Destroy All Monsters from Extermination comes to mind. So for a fan that's been following you for a long time, you're definitely keeping the graphic arts in line with your storied, musical history, and it's
yeah.
fucking brilliant. Um, is it the same graphic artist that did the previous album?
No, totally different guy. Uh, and this guy was a lot easier to work with. Some of these art guys are, they're very, very artistic in that it's my piece of work. It's like, yeah, but you're doing job lots. It's like, this is what I want. No, what you want. No, listen to me. This is what I want. Frickin' do it. We had so many fights with people with false starts with Metal City. It was ludicrous. It's like, this doesn't look like me. Yes, it does. No, it frickin' doesn't. It looks like the Hulk. So that
I,
kind of stuff.
yeah, well, I think because
This
they saw
guy, I
that
mean,
you.
look at the likenesses are like really good.
No, my
It's
God.
really caught them,
So
you know?
let's get out of Mark's way. Well, my light, my
The
not so.
light's hitting his face, yeah.
Oh,
He
Mike's
used
looks
to,
like Mike,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
but it's great. I did notice the 6 string bass though.
Well, that's if you look at it close, it's like he's put one extra machine head on it or something.
It
Somebody
does,
pointed
yeah,
that
yeah.
out, and I'm like, yeah, but there's no strings going to it, so
It's fun.
but
Who gives a shit?
maybe maybe they were catching, my thoughts of screwing around with a 6 string bass, which I've been doing lately. So
And you have you. I mean, you play, Jesus Christ. You play regular guitar as well. I mean,
yeah,
but you play an 8 string bass, a 6 string bass, a 12 string bass, 56 string bass,
just mix it up. Every it's fun having different instruments. I mean,
different color.
for God's sake, I've got sitting here.
Uh oh.
I bet you
Oh.
know what that is.
Oh.
That's a
Wait.
violin.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Wait, we talked about that because it's on Walk Through Fire.
Yeah, I did play someone walk through fire at the beginning, yeah, on the intro. Yeah, little subtle bit. I recorded that at home so nobody else would have to suffer.
So you're not going to pull a Spinal Tap and have the violin and bow the bass guitar on a guitar stand or anything like that.
I did that when I was 16. I had the Perspex bass and the
Yeah.
violin bow, and the hairs died on the bow, so I just rosined the wood. And the little frog thing on the back of the bow
Right. Right.
would hook onto the bass, so I could carry it around with me and then just whip it out every now and again. It was cool. It was really cool.
Oh God, I love it.
And then you're like, all right, I've done that. I'll do something else. It's like I played War for years, and I was like, yeah, I've had enough of that. And then all of a sudden, other people started using War. It's like, nothing's new under the sun, but you can put a different spin on it,
No, I mean, so when you record your bass tracks and stuff for the album stuff, you don't use a whole lot of gimmickry there. When you do your bass solo, when Mark does his guitar solo, you fool around with little like octave pedal sounds.
Oh, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah,
but just when you solo normally.
Yeah, I'll put effects on here and there through the songs, so maybe a bit of war or a bit of phasing or an octave thing. But on the solo, yeah, I'll go nuts. It's two
Oh.
octave pitch shifting and echoes, and I've got a new one that sounds like You know, and you get that oscillating echo effect, and then you can just kick it back to all that nonsense with pitch shifting. And
Oh, love it.
it's great. You put your foot all the way back, and the volume doubles.
Oh man. But you know, the fact that here it is, John, almost 50 years into this biz, and you still get as much of a kick out of it and psyched for this. I mean, and this has been said on other multiple interviews. There are many bands that have had as long a career as you've had, and maybe not have gone through all the different stages of adversity that you guys went through when Mark had his accident, many years ago, 2001. But you still find this enthusiasm and passion for what you do because you're doing what you love, and when you do
Oh,
what you love, it's not.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean, to if you took away that portion of it, of what we do, it would be like the worst job in the world.
right,
But because we love the music and we have a passion about doing it, it's not work. You'll put in endless hours to get it right. And
Eh,
like this, I mean, technically, I'm going to see me kids, and that, so I'll stay a little longer, which will be fun. But the Milwaukee, it's like what, maybe 35, 40 minutes because it's a festival.
yeah,
You come in, and you got to come in the day before, and
yeah.
then it's all that travel and all that craziness, and we don't care. It's all worth it. It's all worth it.
Well, as at the risk of having a cheesy a segue, you always go for the gold, John.
Ching!
Yeah, I mean,
Go for the gold.
and here's a little of that.
10,000 hours was never enough. Pushing the limit, you gotta hang tough. Bang the parameters out of your lane. Accelerating the threshold of pain. Glance at your rival, the mirror will lie. No second chances, it's your turn to fly. Race with the devil, he's calling your name. Start up, it's time to go for the goal. Fly like the wind to the top of the sky. Go for the goal. No one will take you Phoenix for Hazard, he's running the track. Shadows are here and there's no looking back. Smashing the record, but it's not enough. Breaking the threshold of pain. Glance at your rival, the mirror won't lie. No second chances, it's your turn to fly. Race with the devil, he's calling your name. Put up a shut up, it's time to go for the goal. Fly like the wind.
I feel like sacrilege when I do that, but John, I mean,
I can't wait to play this stuff live. We've
I
we've
can't
played
wait to
little
hear you
parts
play it live.
during sound checks, and it's just like, yeah, this is going to kill. It's
Oh
great.
my God. So this is going to be a hell of a lot easier for you because I remember you played. What was the festival that you played out in Europe when you literally debuted a couple of new songs from Metal City?
Oh
It
yeah,
was the
Alcatraz.
Power
That was like the first gig back from the pandemic. Yeah,
pandemic, and you guys had played the Power. Yeah, I remember you saying you had no rehearsal time. You
I can do better than that.
oh
We've
please.
had no rehearsal time since Mike's joined the band at all. Unless you count running through stuff in sound check. That's usually it. Everyone does their homework. Like, this? Any problems? No? Okay, good, go. And that's how we did Wiped Out. And that's how we did All for One. And the first show, you're looking at each other, and it may be a train wreck, but after that, boom, we're all good.
Well, I have seen your live gigs, through the years here since I had actually met you in 2010, and no, I'm sorry, 2011, and that is not long after you had, gotten back with, Mark,
Yeah,
all guns
true, yeah.
blazing with Walk Through Fire.
Right.
WTF for short. It's a nice little double meaning there, which is great, because it literally, chronicles what you guys have gone through. And folks, if you have not checked out their catalog, if you know these guys just from their first couple albums, they're still, as you can hear, they're still doing this at such a high level. And there are videos that are accompanied for this on YouTube. They're high quality. Silver Lining Records is doing a great job with you guys in terms of promotion. I think more than I've seen.
A lot of stuff worked out great for that. We've got there'll be a video for the title song will be coming out at when the album comes out. We'll have one more, but
Brilliant.
like you see, we just put out two, and it just worked out. We were going to be doing it at one place, and the rental fell through, and we just said, well, what about the last gig here in England? It's a good haul, and we were able to get it.
Wow.
Before the show. We just got in early and just did as much stuff as we possibly could, either on stage and off. And then after the gig at the hotel, we just commandeered the hotel. We look around, oh, they don't have any security cameras here. Good, let's go crazy and do all kinds of crazy shit. And got an awful lot of stuff, so it's worked out good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I tell you, John, this has been an utmost pleasure, and I hope that we'll get to see you perhaps back here in the States in the fall, or are you planning earlier
that's
than
the
that?
plan. We're looking for October-ish. Yeah.
That's what last two times I've seen you. You managed to let's plug this for a hot second. When you came through the area here, you did the Metal City tour in 2021. And you came through and you added a gig at the West York Inn in York, Pennsylvania. And there was a club there you hadn't played since '87, I think, in York, PA. And I can't remember the name of the club offhand. But the
club was called Swizzles.
Swizzles. Thank you. See, you guys mind like a steel trap, man.
I remember that one. That was a very, very hot gig. I remember that one.
It was a summer gig. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And was that with when Joe was playing with you guys, or was
no? That would have been Rob.
Rob.
And so I think it might have been TT Quick opening up for us there.
Oh my God, there's a name.
Yeah, might have been. Not sure.
The guy from that band sings for Accept now.
Yeah, Mark sings for Accept. Mark's
right.
Good old friend of ours. Great singer, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, your history with Udo, the original singer for Accept, Dirk Schneider. When you put I'm gonna plug it just a couple things before we go, because it's important that people forget before your new album here, All Hell's Breaking Loose, available June 30th. You can pre-order it on Amazon and all the places you buy music. Buy the music though. Buy the vinyl. Buy the CD, buy it though.
Yeah, because you'll get that cool artwork and all that good stuff.
Oh Christ! But you also had this compilation out, Leave 'Em Bleeding, which basically chronicled all your music catalog from Walk Through Fire up to before the new album comes out. And
yeah, that kind of like saw off the old deal, and it also was a great way of getting all the rare and extra tracks that had been spread around, like the Japanese extra track and the Outer Mongolian extra track and all that cool stuff.
And the Malice in Journeyland track.
We have a fun live version of Stay Hard, which was recorded in 2017, which wasn't out on anything. So we go, let's put that on there too. That would be fun.
You guys haven't played that yet when I've seen you live. Mark,
no, we did it on that. We did it on that tour in 2017. We just said, because I think we'd been playing a little bit of it in the Break the Chain thing, and just said, let's play Stay Hard. Boom, simple.
Love it. Again, great album from the Atlantic Years, and well worth checking out. Let's see here. Do I have? Yes, I do. They have all these reissues, but they do have the complete Atlantic Years here.
Yep.
So, excellent. Well, John, I am gonna let you go on to your songwriting, folks. He doesn't even have a new album out yet, and John, at the moment before we hit record, he's writing new stuff as we speak. We look forward to the next record and the next record and the next record, John.
When you got the ideas, you got to put them down.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks, if you liked what you saw and heard today, hit like the link below. I'm going to have some links below as well for John Raven. John, they can find you at Facebook, Official Raven, and John Gallagher Raven on Facebook, right? Anywhere else I'm missing?
Twitter, Official Raven. I believe Instagram, Official Raven as well. Yep.
Cool. All right. Folks, thanks for tuning into the Purple Curd podcast. We'll have my next guest up and running here in the next week or so. Stay hard, stay wet, stay hungry, stay metal. Have a great one.